Back again. Life is a game of people. Business is a game of people. Everything is just a game of people. What I've noticed most recently is when I look at the people that I've been working with, life is just a recruitment game. If you can get people in that care about your mission, care about your vision, care about where you're going, it's hard to find, first of all. It's super hard to find, especially because if you want people who are driven, who are hungry, who are motivated, either they'll be doing their own thing or their lifetime in your business in your business will be short because you want the best for them and you want them to flourish and fly the nest, as it were. But this is why I think the closer life cycle can be quite short, is because realistically the best closers, they should be building their own thing. Unlikely that you'll find a closer that doesn't want to build their own thing, doesn't want to, take off and, like I said, leave the nest and build something of their own. So I think it's really important. What I've noticed in a lot of sales organizations is when closers do well is they start to change the commission structure, which is just a no-go in my mind. It's like, have a clear commission structure, stick to it. And if these people want to stay, they'll stay. If they enjoy the company, if they enjoy the work, if they're good at it, they get paid well, they'll stay for a long time. But you can't keep them forever. So for me, I know that the people I've got on my team at the moment, I'm like, you're all great. And when I'm hiring more people, like content team, I'm very big on just finding out, what do you care about? Who are you? I actually watched a bit of Narcos Mexico yesterday, and when, what's his name? Felix Angel Miguel something or other, the main jefe del jefe, boss of bosses, wants to do business with a new guy. The new guy won't talk to him about business until they've got to know each other. So they spend the day and they go to a party, a fiesta, and they spend the day getting to know each other because it's like, I need to know more about you as a person before I even consider doing business with you. I need to see what you're like, what you don't like, what your morals are like, your level of integrity, your characteristics, and just your character in general. So I was fortunate I watched it yesterday, and I had a meeting this morning with a content team, and one of them asked, like, what do you need to know from me? I was like, just tell me about yourself. I want to hear what you like, what you don't like, what your interests are, how you got to where you are, how old you are. Like, give me all of this information, because realistically, similar to a sales call, like, we should be on a good working relationship if we end up working together. And that will usually cross the lines between a bit of friendship and a bit of business, because I believe that the best relationships have some friendship or have some common ground in terms of personal life that cross over. One of my like half uncle, he works for Wells Fargo, the investment bank. And he said some of the biggest deals that he's done in the world of, I think it was billions of dollars, 30% of it was built on the relationship that he had with the person. So for me, I'm trying to live by that sort of code of, I need to want to do business with this person purely based on who they are, not just based on the output that they say that they can get or their previous work or testimonials. It's like, I don't really care about that stuff. You should be able to do the work regardless. I want to know that I'm working with people that have a similar level of care to me, that have a similar level of expectations to me, that have proven themselves in their own right, in their own field. Because then for me, I'm like, cool, at least I know how I'm going to operate with you, how I'm going to communicate with you. So even at the end, I'm big on having like a do's and don'ts list. Like, what do you like? What don't you like? You don't work weekends, I won't message you weekends. You don't do this, or I don't expect a response over the weekends, because I need my expectations and boundaries to be clear with new people that I'm working with, because otherwise the relationship, business or personal, whatever it is, will never work out. And I see the same in relationships with partners as well, like females, males, whatever you're into, whatever floats your boat. But like, there should be a big conversation in my mind about like how you operate, what you want to do on your days off, what works for you, what doesn't, how you want to be spoken to in the morning. Like, all of these little things that might seem like trivial and not important, I think are the most important. Because if you ask me, I'd probably say I don't want to hear anything in the morning unless it's some soft salsa music or some reggaeton or some opera or something that's just going to allow me just to clock out for a bit and be in my head for a bit longer and think about the day. Don't need crazy high energy. I don't need crazy music. I don't need scrolling. I don't need to hear bullshit in the morning. The morning is so precious for me and my brain that I need to make sure that I'm ready for it. And this is a roundabout way of saying it's like, life is a recruitment game. Make sure that the people that you work with, that you hire, that you surround yourself with, top tier people. They've got to know your goals. You've got to know their goals. So when I speak to the content team earlier, I'm like, where are you going with this? Why do you want to work with me? This is where I'm going. This is where I see my path. This is why I see my path to be in this way. These are the other people that are doing it. These are my North Stars. So they can see my level of drive and dedication and where I want to go. So it also gets them excited to work with me. Also, then there's no bullshit. It's like, if you've got an issue with me, I need to know straight away. But that's how I like to be worked with. I don't like people to hold it back and not have the hard conversation like I mentioned in another video. So for me, it's really big just to find the right people. And it's actually the hardest part in my mind, is finding the right people, because talk is cheap and that's why everyone can afford it. So people will just say they can do this, they can do that. But really, when you look at them, you're only speaking to them for maybe a couple of hours before you decide to start working with them. I worked with someone previously and one of my mentors were like, yeah, I've worked with him before. He's good. His process works, blah, blah, blah. So I went with him. Within 2 days, I was like, this guy's shit. I don't like the way he operates. I don't like the level of care. I don't like the results that he's been bringing in. I don't like any of it. Like, it's honestly, it's trash. So I had to get out of there quick. quick. And I know that the whole hire slow, fire fast line is great to live by, but it's actually really hard to live by as well. So for me, I'm trying to live by that a bit more. So even with this content team, they came with me with a 4-week plan, and I was like, cool, this sounds great. I'd prefer a soft launch, to be honest. I'd prefer a soft launch. So we're literally just, maybe we run less deliverables over the month, or what they recommended was, how about we just do a week? We'll do a week, we'll drop the deliverables and we see how we go. We'll get a much more of a feel out for each other, because then the commitment is low from their side, the commitment is low from my side, and we can see how we work together. We can see if there's results. We can see if we get on well. We can see if we can brainstorm ideas. We can see everything that we need to do. Maybe a week is too short. Who knows? A week isn't that long, but I think it's long enough to get a good feel for what the next few weeks could look like. Because then realistically, it's like, cool, how about now we do a month? Or how about we do 2 weeks? For me, I wanted to start shit slower. And I know with my brain, the level of like commitment to getting shit done that I have is I want shit done quickly. I want it done now. I want it done yesterday. So that's something that I have to personally fight, is just to make sure that I'm not looking at the result more than I'm looking at the people that are getting the results. Because I know that the people that are going to get the results are the people that I need to invest the time in. Hence why I've hired a sales manager, because I know that my style isn't that great to get salespeople motivated, to get anyone motivated. I have a different style of motivation. It's more military. So having a sales manager, and the team is flourishing. The team are having a great time so far from what I can see. Everyone's loving it. Everyone's making money. Everyone's having a bit of banter. It's good. It's good gear. Partly because I'm removed from it. And this is what I'm finding at the moment, is the more I remove myself from the business, the more I can have a bird's eye view, the more I can be less emotional, I can be less involved, and I can just pull bigger levers, make bigger moves, bigger levers, and I'm just cashing checks for people. I'm just like, cool, I'm going to pay you to do this. I think you're a good fit, and luckily I think I have a good judge of character for most people. And you know, even if I just put, like the other day I put a story on about someone helping with content, the person who reached out, they seemed real nice, we went for coffee, they seemed to know their shit. I met their business partner earlier, they seemed to know their shit, and we came to the conclusion of the soft launch. Because again, like, it doesn't help them for them to be in a 4-week commitment with me and for me to be unhappy straight away, whereas for them it's much easier, because they're in a different industry anyway to what I'm in, for them to see if they can get the results, for them to see if they like how I work, for them to see if the content is organized well enough, you know, because there's going to be a bit of bullshit around it, and it's going to take some time to really get the teething problems sorted. And I expect teething problems, they always happen, but for me the teething problems can be navigated way better if everyone's on the same page, everyone's in a similar time zone, always helps, and everyone just knows how each other thinks. So when I met the content team before, they were very big on, you know, one of the partners has a similar brain to me, where it's just ideas, and the other partner is execute. So I was like, cool, this could work very well. You've got, from what I can tell, good results with other people. You want to be in my industry, you see where I'm going, you like my level of commitment and drive, you talk the talk. Now let's see if you walk the walk. And this is why I say, like, just going slower with stuff, because I would love it to work out. I would love it to be the match made in heaven, but I'm not naive enough to think that some shit just doesn't work. Some people have different ethics, some people have different morals, some people have different levels of integrity. For me, all I want to see is that people do exactly what they say, and if they can't, they let me know beforehand. You know, like, I had to cancel a meeting last night because I was burnt out, but I'm messaging the person, be like, I need to move this to another day because I'm burnt out, but if there's anything pressing, let me know. And obviously this is a few hours before the meeting. I'm not doing it after the meeting or during the meeting or a minute before. The earlier you do it, the more respectful it is. So for me, when you're building a business, when you're building a team, when you're working with people, you've got to think, do I like this person? Can I continue to do work with them? Are they on a similar sort of wavelength to me in terms of work ethic, output, care, boundaries? Like, I know these people, realistically, they don't work weekends. I don't work weekends. I make videos and that sort of thing, and I want to go on trips on weekends, but I'm committing to not working weekends because I know it fries me, and I know it makes me sort of remove myself from the stuff that I need to do, which is meditate more, read my book, take some downtime, and just switch off. Because if I don't, then I just get, you know, fried. So yeah, for me, the biggest takeaway is be careful who you work with. Don't be like salty, don't be skeptical, but it's not bad to play the field of it. It's not bad to ask for less deliverables at a less cost to see how people work, because I've worked with so many people in the past and all I do is sit by them for a day or two and I'm like, wow, you work at a different level. You're smart. I like the way you operate. I like the way you organize. I like the way you put docs together. I like all of this. And for me, that's a good sign. You know, maybe some people have some bad habits thrown in there, but either you get over them or you can help them get through it. But yeah, the overarching theme is life is a recruitment game. Business is a recruitment game. Every business is just recruitment. So make sure you get good people. Make sure you get people that you value. Make sure you get people that value you, that are on your side, that are on your team. And I think sort of the rest then naturally works itself out. If you're going to go on a rapid scale session, then maybe you can't help to get some B players, but I'm a big believer in either stoop or the C player will rise. A rising tide raises all boats, usually. But I just know that if you get, say, 5 C players and an A player, the A player will probably slack, realistically, just because they're a product of their surroundings. So yeah, really, like I said, just make sure you vet people, make sure you speak to other people about them, make sure you see their work, make sure you see how they operate, go for multiple meetings. Obviously, you don't want to around for too long, but it's going to pay off in the long run if you notice some red flags early on and then you're like, this has come up, can we talk about this? They'll be like, this happened because of this reason. If it's legit, it's legit. If it's not, it's not. You don't have to work with it, but save yourself the time, the money, and the ball ache, and just do a bit more due diligence. Doesn't hurt to do some proper DD. But anyway, subscribe if you're still here. Another Connor Weston brain dump, and yeah, that was on my mind. Much love. Bye for now. Ciao ciao.